Holy fucking shit. Abuse. That's how you start off the podcast.
Welcome
Who wants to see abuse?
to Because Movies
Podcast.
podcast.com.
On our podcast, we discuss relevant films.
Shows that we've watched
movie world.
that we planned to watch but didn't.
I feel like that's a slight towards me because I didn't watch one of the shows we were going to talk about today.
Next week we're doing 4 episodes, 2 what ifs and 2 other things that we'll discuss another
if?
time.
I forget next week's episode too.
Then we'll have 3 what ifs. Today's show is The Green Knight. Did you watch that one?
Yes, I did. Fuck's sake.
Unfortunately, you did.
I knew you would not like this movie.
Oh my God, does this have so many plot holes? It's just a weird... Okay, The Green Knight... Oh, I'm going to explain
I'm going to leave this
it.
one for you.
I'm going to do notes. It's a summary from Wikipedia, which is now what we do because it's easier. But you still won't get it. But
In the movie, so I did like this movie. I didn't love it, but
What?
I did like it.
oh
yeah.
my God.
And you know why I liked it?
Because it's a critiques movie.
Because there was a loose narrative where it didn't...
Rob, we did keep going, but we didn't do this.
Phil's going to the bathroom. You just want to yank. Were those in...
talking. I just told you. The Green Knight.
You were right in the fucking camera. Lost my train of thought. But no, I like because it has a narrative structure, but it doesn't follow. It follows that narrative very loosely. So there's a lot of jumping back, a lot of jumping forward, a lot of very artistic shots, and
Yes.
I liked that
Yeah.
compared to the fucking Fast and Furious, which I had watched just before, which is hammered garbage. This was just more. It looked like there was effort put into the shots. It looked like there was effort put into the acting. Not great by any stretch of the imagination, but interesting to watch. I'll give it that. I was interested while I was watching it.
This had everything but a coherent plot line.
But I don't think it's kind of supposed to. You know, it's supposed to be more kind of an allegory.
It's
you know
an
what I mean?
old myth, wives' tale type thing from...
An old story from like the... I thought it was King Arthur's court, but I might be wrong.
It is,
It
yeah.
is King Arthur's
Yeah,
court.
they show the round table. They've got... well, I'll go through. But if they had a coherent plot line or something that just like came around properly and like linked these storyline these things together.
I like that part of it. I like the... And I wouldn't call it incoherence, but non-linear
This
narrative.
is like when you have a 300-page book that you're trying to put into a movie and you skip. It's like Jurassic Park, the book, compared to Jurassic Park, the movie. But Jurassic Park
the
movie
book-
had a coherent
But
storyline.
Jurassic Park the book is better.
Completely
than the movie.
different, yeah. I wish they'd do that.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Once
stupid
they
that
reboot
they didn't
it.
kind of reboot it, and because I like the. I mean, it was great seeing Richard Attenborough in the movie as a nice guy, but in the book he's a total asshole, right? And he meets the demise that in Lost World, that guy who's zapping all the fucking
Yes,
things. He
yeah.
meets that's the demise that he
I
meets.
forgot his name. They say it so many times in the movie.
Yeah,
That his buddy or something.
But remember, BD Wong also gets ripped. He gets ripped apart. He falls on top of the fucking building, and his guts are all spilling out. That's what happens in the book.
None of
Read
this
the
happened.
book Jurassic Park
None of this happened in The Green Knight.
and read the Lost World. Oh, that's true. Well, is there any guts?
There was no dinosaurs. There could have been. There definitely could have been. Anyway, The Green Knight. Gawain. Am I saying that right?
That was a hard one, right?
Gawain.
Because people have different accents in the
In the
I
whole
believe
movie.
He's either Scottish or Irish. The Sean Harris, the guy that plays the king.
Jesus.
I kept on thinking he was calling him like Gerwin, and I'm like Gerwin,
I-
and then someone else calls him Gwaine. I'm like, what? What the fuck is his name? And then turn on the subtitles. It's I think Gaywin or Gaywin, yeah, something like that.
We're probably pronouncing it wrong, but for all intents and purposes, that's how we're going to pronounce it. No, I don't know how to pronounce it. Gawain. That's what we're going with.
Maybe
Gawain?
Gawain the Rock Johnson. So Gawain,
Oh.
just call him Rock.
No, we do that for the other movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh no, he's not in that movie. All right, Gawain.
It's not allowed.
Gawain and the Green
This is
Pete's
why
Dragon.
you should watch our show all the way through because
Gawain
it
and the
just keeps
Gween-
going.
Gawain and the
It
Gween.
never ends.
Fuck, get that one out.
Okay, Gawain. Gawain. I'm going to pronounce it different each time. Gawain is seated alone in a great hall upon a throne in kingly regalia. Regalia?
Regalia. Also, if this movie is all about Gawain, they missed a huge opportunity not calling it Gawain's World.
I think they were trying to be more serious. Okay. A crown floats down from above as narrator tells of his tale. You're welcome. As
Think
the
you'd be
crown...
able- would you be able to pretend that you're like not reading it off the computer?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how teleprompter, when there's a teleprompter on a news show, how they try to pretend that they're actually saying it to you when they're actually reading it off teleprompter?
Only if I wrote my own material. Since it's... I even read this beforehand. You wouldn't notice. But
Also, having said that, do you think
I've never been one for scripts.
now that the guy... See, I kept people waiting. I paused while I drank.
Pregnant
Like
pause?
Obama.
Poignant pause?
Oh, it's a pregnant pause.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Um,
Because the baby's about to come out.
fuck. Oh, the new host for Jeopardy.
I heard about that.
That guy's out. So now, like the strong contender they're saying is that Mayim.
Mayim,
I
but-
can't
yeah,
figure out
but-
how to say her name. Or LeVar
Blossom.
Burton, man.
Just call her Blossom.
She's not Blossom though.
She is Blossom.
Is she really?
She's Blossom.
I thought she was somebody else. I know
No.
she's been on that terrible Big
Blossom.
Bang
Do you
Theory.
know she was one of my first crushes?
Really?
Blossom,
See, I can't get
yeah.
past her nose. She's a ludicrously smart
She
woman.
got a big nose. She's
She's
got a weird.
amazingly smart woman. Not high up on my list of crushes, but yeah, it comes down to her, LeVar Burton. I don't know, man.
You like LeVar Burton?
I kinda
You like
do.
you have a crush on him?
I do. Me and
That's what it
Jordy.
sounded like there.
Me and Jordy could be in the
LaForge, yeah.
What the fuck is it called? The hollow deck.
The holodeck, yeah.
Hollowing out his deck.
What
But
was
no,
it?
I
What was
watched
his visor called? Was it called a visor?
Yeah, it was called a visor.
Shit.
And you just fucking said it, ruin your
Yeah.
own joke.
No.
But no, I watched him on reading. As a kid, I watched Reading Rainbow all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, dude, I could totally be down for LeVar Burton to do it. But Mayim Bialik, I think it is, could do it.
I didn't see her do the guest hosting, so I don't know
The
how
only guest host I saw was Anderson Cooper.
good she was. I'd have to look it up. You'd have to have someone who's really confident in what they're talking about, and she is. She's super smart. That's why she did like a lot of the, proof work when it came to like all the smart things they said on
I'd never watched Big Bang Theory.
Big
once.
Bang Theory. Well, they had to have like a bunch of geeks or whatever to prove
I've
it.
seen like the people making fun of it on YouTube and shit, or nerds like myself going fucking super angry when they're talking about Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and shit. I remember friends of ours recommended it to us when it first came out. So I watched that first season, and it's one of those shows I just don't get what's funny. You know, same as Friends. I just it just I don't like the characters, so I don't care what happens to them.
So, what's your favorite sitcom?
If I had to choose a favorite sitcom,
Full-on sitcom with an audience.
Married with Children, because I identify with Al Bundy. Love Al Bundy. How can you not love Al
No,
Bundy?
I used to watch Married with Children, granted. And I've even seen the copycat one with the dog,
Right?
with the puppet.
Yeah. Unhappily Ever After. that's
Yeah,
what it's called.
what's her name? You watched it just for her.
I watched
The girl, the
Kelly Bundy?
No,
Oh, and the second one. Oh,
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
the redhead or
Oh,
something.
Christ. Yeah. Was
Tiffany.
it Tawny Katane?
Maybe,
The second one. I don't think it was Tiffany. But
maybe,
I think it
maybe
was-
Tiffany in the show.
Maybe. But I think it was Tawny Katane
sure.
that did it.
Anyway, the Green
Yeah,
Knight.
back to the Green Knight.
A crown, as the crown alights, his head erupts in flames. Anyway, that.
See, I don't think
Gawain.
I don't think you like the allegory of the story. I don't think you because okay,
I
you
think
know what?
it's
Put it this way.
garbage.
What,
I was
what do you
hoping
think the story was about? If you had
Well, I
to
already
choose,
know. Like it's just, but it's about his. It's about him wanting to be this grand person with people talking about him and being and all this, but he just doesn't have it. He won't put in the effort. He is scared. He won't do any of the work.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
So what if I was to say one part to think of, and what I think the allegory of the story is when he's in front of the Green Knight. So spoilers for anybody, go watch the Green Knight.
Well, if you're
you
not
probably won't know what we're
watching the
talking about
stuff
anyway.
before we do this, you're not very
But
smart.
He's down on his knees in front of, oh man, he's the Green Knight, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, we got close to this.
Everybody wants someone who's brand new to it. Did you zoom the screen?
This is going to be an hour long.
Yeah,
Yes,
all
I
right.
did.
I'll get more to the point. But when he's down on his knees in front of the Green Knight puts the axe behind his neck, and he says, "Is this all there is?" Is what Dwayne asks him. Gawain, I'm gonna call him Dwayne the whole time. Is what Gawain asks him, and the Green Knight says to him, "What more would there be?" And then Gawain runs away. He says, "I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry," and runs away. And then everything that comes after that, it's kind of a waking life. He isn't having any enjoyment in sex. He's not having any enjoyment in his son being born. He's not having enjoyment in his son dying in battle. He's miserable. And not miserable, he's just disenchanted for the rest of it.
But there's a reason for that.
Right.
Because he can't hold up to what he's supposed to be.
I think that was to show that, yes, that's all there is. And that's why the Green Knight says to him, what else do you expect there to be?
Doesn't make sense because that's the stuff he wanted.
Right.
He wanted all this type of stuff.
He wanted to be so in the start when the Green Knight says, whatever you do to me, I'm going to do back to you in 1 year. And within that 1 year, he enjoys his life. He goes on all these travels and meets these people, does wonderful
Doesn't
things.
go on any travel.
When he has to go meet the knight, he does.
Okay, but that's
Later in
because he had to.
But he was arguably enjoying his life more than he was beforehand, right? More than he was afterwards. After the Green Knight doesn't kill him. So to me,
I don't call that enjoying.
to me, the allegory of the story is it's about kind of what you imagine your life to be. If you so he wants to kill the Green Knight. He killed the Green Knight, and then he has to go and do the next part of that of his duty to the Green Knight. The Green Knight has to be able to kill him. That's where he'll be respected. So he has to die, right? But he'll go down in history as the man who fulfilled his promise to the Green Knight. So if he dies, he gets remembered as a hero.
Yes.
And that's why he's asking the Green Knight, is this all there is? Like, is this all there is? I get to fucking chop your head off and then a year later come and get my head chopped off and that's all there is?
Yeah.
And that's why he says, what else would there be? And so when Gawain runs away from it, he's seeing how useless his life is by not fulfilling what he was supposed to do from the Green Knight.
Okay,
So to me, it's an
that.
allegory that what he set out to do, he should have done, and he was unhappy by not doing it. He was unhappy by not fulfilling the destiny that he should have fulfilled.
Granted, yeah, that's great. No, I agree with you. That totally makes sense. But the biggest problem with this thing is that none of the storyline items meet up when they could have had them come around so many times.
Not to mention, there's some things that seem just for me kind of out of place. The most
You
obvious,
think?
the most obvious one is he's gonna go to the river and he has this little fox buddy.
That's
and
the
the fox
worst.
starts talking to him, and I'm
Oh,
like,
come on.
I feel like in the story, because it's based on a story, I feel like in the story maybe this is the internal dilemma that he's having in his own head. But they have a fox start talking to him.
You
I'm
don't
like, yeah,
think it's
that's
the
weird.
giants that with boobs hanging out that do nothing for the storyline at all?
kinda
It's
down
just
with
like, oh, they're there.
I like the giant boobs. You know,
Yeah.
if someone's got boobs, I don't question what the fuck is happening.
If there was a
There's
point
some monster tits.
other than to go, oh,
monster jugs.
just dumb.
It was.
No.
I thought it looked, and yes, I like giant monster tits, but it also like the landscape was very well done. It wasn't a beautiful landscape because it was very gray and kind of sullen, but it was very well shot. I thought it was very well acted by all the principal actors.
We watched an HDR.
Yeah,
So
looks pretty
beautiful.
amazing. Yep.
I felt this was artsy and beautiful. I totally got that part. It was well acted, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
It was all the things. The score was great. All the things except for the story. The story just crapped out.
It was
all over the
definitely an
place.
art movie.
But let's get into it, and we can discuss the individual things.
Fine.
Okay?
Where's the big tit woman?
Gawain is awakened on Christmas morning in a brothel by his lover, the commoner Essel. He returns to Camelot and...
You know that's how she hasn't gotten pregnant so far? She's always taking up her Essel.
What? After being scolded by his mother, Morgan Fay, attends a feast at the Round Table with his uncle, King Arthur, who invites Gawain to his side.
Now, you know what's crazy? In the original story,
I stopped listening to you now.
Gawain is Arthur's nephew. So that was kind of... And I get it. It's because Dev Patel's a very good actor. And they were like, it's not important, the race of the actor. But as I'm watching it, I constantly kept that in the back of my mind. And I'm like, how is he... How are they related? How is he his nephew? Because I thought King Arthur and his mother are brother and sister. And I was like, well, did they have different parents? Then I was like, oh, wait. It doesn't... That don't care about the race. Just watch the fucking story.
Yeah, it's not Race Wars. In a tower, LaFay performs a magic ritual. The mysterious Green Knight barges into Arthur's court on horseback and challenges the court. Any knight who is able to land a blow on him will win his green axe. However, the knight must travel to the Green Chapel the following Christmas and receive an equal blow in return. Now, this just screamed to me, slice his arm.
Slap him in the face.
Like, what are you doing?
Because it's an allegory. If he had gone back and had been like, the Green Knight slapped him back, he's like, that's what you did? That was the glory you were trying to attain to?
I thought this was getting at, like, he said something about trust, and I was like, well, maybe you're trying to win his trust so that you can have him on your side, and it'd be like easier in battle. But that doesn't come around or anything. It's just, you do to me, I do to you.
Maybe he was a Green Knight, if you know what I'm saying. Whatever you do to my head, wink, I do to your head, wink. Also, the actor, I always forget the actor's name, but he's the guy that played the father in The Witch. It's not Peter Serafinowicz, which a lot of people always confuse Peter Serafinowicz because he has an awesome voice. This guy has a wonderfully deep, gravelly, mean voice.
I really thought this was going to be Gawain.
You thought so, eh? I love this actor. One of the best movies I've seen in a long time is a movie called The Witch. Really recommend to people to watch The Witch, done by Robert Eggers. But this guy is the father in The Witch. Fuck, he's good, man. As soon as I heard his voice, I was like, oh, love this fucking actor.
He had the same shape of Gawain.
You think?
Yeah,
Really?
with the beard and everything. It just made sense. So I was like, okay, it's going to turn out to be this weird time cycle, and he's going to go...
You're watching too many Marvel movies.
But
You're
this would be awesome. This is how
4.
this makes sense, because you go to the knight kills, sets you free or something. You go back to the kingdom. On your way back, you're turning into the knight, and you're the knight coming into the kingdom that first time.
Apparently,
it's a cycle.
Apparently, in the original story and in other... Because this has been made multiple times in different plays and different movies and whatnot.
It's like the Bible.
Except we know these characters aren't real.
Yeah.
Apparently, in the majority of people who have done the story in different ways, the Lord, played by
It's a weird
Joel
name.
Edgerton. I feel like I'm getting his name wrong. But the guy that plays the Lord, remember the castle that he goes to, and the girl that fucks him who's on the green thing. The Lord and the Green Knight are the same person. That's what a lot of people have alluded to through the story.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, because the king is constantly trying to boast about gifts he's going to
Stalling him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that becomes something completely altogether different. Anyway, Gawain takes up the challenge. I said that? No, instead of fighting, the Green Knight kneels and lowers his head, and Gawain decapitates him. The Green Knight rises and lifts his severed head, reminds Gawain of the bargain, and rides off from the castle laughing.
Pretty kick-ass to watch a guy pick up his own head.
That was pretty cool.
Also, if Dev Patel was a bit darker, Call this movie The Dark Knight.
Over the next year, Gawain's story is retold and his reputation grows. Yet he spends his days drinking and worrying about his upcoming confrontation with the Green Knight.
Yep.
When Christmas time approaches, the king reminds Gawain to uphold his end of the challenge.
Would you say this is a Christmas story? I don't think so. I think
It is in this movie. This is one of those separate
There's
things
John
where it's
McClane
like,
fucking firing on fucking
there's no
German
Halloween,
villains.
so it's Christmas.
There's no Halloween. Can you imagine the Green Knight?
Perfect.
Like, I will come at Halloween.
And he's the headless horseman. Like,
The Headless Horseman.
all right. When
Brass
Christmas
man.
approaches, the king reminds Gawain to uphold his challenge. Gawain departs on horseback for the Green Chapel, taking the green axe and a green girdle made by his mother, who claims that no harm will come to him so long as he wears it.
No, was it his mother? That girl that...
Morgan Le Fay.
No. What about the girl, the Lord's wife that he fucks in the thing? She's the one that gives him the green thing, isn't she? Remember she gives him the green thing and then he comes all over it and it's in his hand?
That's later.
Yeah, I know, but that's
This is
isn't
separate.
that the green... Oh.
The same thing. Same. This is how this is so weird because it doesn't explain anything. You're explaining my point marvelously.
Marvel.
This movie makes me mad because I wished it was so much better than it was.
I enjoyed it.
When Christmas time approaches, during his journey, Gawain meets a boy scavenging a battlefield littered with dead corpses.
As opposed to live corpses.
Sorry, dead warriors. That just wow. The boy directs Gawain to a stream that will lead him to the Green Chapel. Gawain gives him a coin in return after being begged, pretty much. Shortly afterwards, the boy and two others ambush Gawain and steal the axe, girdle, and horse, leaving him tied up.
right.
Now, this is something it doesn't say in this notes. He's tied up, and then it does this weird pan, which worked after the pan came around and showed his dead body, like just his bones, like having just rotted away. Then it turns again, I think, and it comes back to him. So I was like, circle of time.
Or
A time issue.
what if Gawain is dead and everything after this is fake?
That'd be fine. But everything after this is fake trash.
But it could be that.
It could be.
There's a whole bunch of different things it could be. You have to use your imagination. It's the magic of movies.
Gawain severs his bonds with his sword and pursues them, the guys that stole his stuff. At night, he comes to an abandoned cottage. This is when it starts getting weird. And falls asleep in the bed. Yeah. He is awakened by the ghost of a young woman named Winifred,
Yeah.
who asks Gawain. I thought this was going to be a Ghostbusters moment.
Give me those tits, slut.
No.
That's what he says to her.
No, but the Ghostbusters moment
Give me doth
where
tits.
they take the
swine.
ghost takes off the belt of Dan Aykroyd.
That's another reason why Ghostbusters Afterlife trying to be all nostalgic and shit. Like the first movie had a guy getting his dick sucked by a ghost. And then the second one, they slimed all over the inside of the Statue of Liberty. And this next one is gonna have like fucking kids that are discovering, oh, my dad was a great guy, blah blah blah. Like, I wish they'd have more fucking Ghostbuster blowjobs.
So Winifred asks Gawain to retrieve her head from a nearby spring. When he returns with her skull, he sees her skeleton in the bed, to which he adds the skull. The next morning, the axe has suddenly appeared. This was stupid.
Because she's fucking dead. Stories about Circle of Life.
Stories about dead people. It's the Sixth Sense.
You're the one that said live corpses.
Gawain encounters a fox that befriends him.
Yeah, this part.
I turned to my wife and went, what does the fox say?
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. And then you're doing that for the rest of the
And then we find out
The
later.
worst is the fucking fox. Like, when it started talking, I was like, yeah, this is...
It does do its cry like a normal fox sound.
Right, but then it's like that's what I thought was gonna happen. He was gonna be like one of those "Love, be afraid," like, you know what I mean? Like maybe like a ghosty voice, but it's like, oh. So Gawain, you're not gonna want to go into. And I'm like, what? When that part happened, I was like, this is going a bit farther away from artistic license and being like, why the fuck is there a talking fox?
Okay. They witness female giants marching through a valley.
I was 100% okay with this scene.
Tell me what the purpose of it was. Tell me now.
Maybe
Make it up.
he sees women as obstacle.
Sorry, I was just wanting to make a noise for the microphone.
Maybe he sees women as obstacles he has to get around, or that are constantly trying to prevent him from reaching his task. I don't know.
I totally expected one of them to pick him up, put it on his shoulder, and just walk.
Like
you know?
the fucking never-ending story in The Rock Giant. That's a movie I think I've shown it to my kids and they lost interest in it.
That's because it doesn't hold up. Because old movies, they're slow.
So I think the never-ending story does hold up.
It
I love the idea
slow.
of the nothing, like the thing that's destroying the fantasy land of the never-ending story is the fucking nothing. That's so cool. It just erases everything.
Gawain reaches a castle inhabited by a lord who informs him that the Green Chapel is nearby. Gawain accepts his invitation to stay. The castle's other occupants include a blindfolded old woman.
I thought that was the queen.
It is.
It is.
No,
the queen from The King's Wife.
It's LaFay,
Who the fuck is LaFay?
his mother.
Is it his mother?
Yeah,
I guess I kept on focusing thinking it was the queen.
but I don't. Like, it didn't come around, so like, who cares? So it might not have been. Okay. The castle's occupants include the blindfolded old woman and the lord's lady, who resembles Essel and makes seductive overtures towards Gawain. This is when I thought that this was the future, and she was a little older now. She found a husband. She taking care of his mother, who's now
This old lady.
old
that's
lady.
wrapped up.
That makes perfect sense, but that was never
Maybe it's up to you to come
said.
up with it.
Maybe. The Lord proposes they exchange what he obtains while hunting with whatever Gawain finds in the castle. The next morning, the lady presents Gawain with the green girdle, which she claims to have made herself.
Yep.
Gawain, that's why I was like, she got it from his
Mother?
dead body, or
Oh, his
who
dead
knows?
body, okay.
Who knows? And now she has it, and she's giving it to this guy who looks like the guy her love of her life, or she knows it's Gawain because they said, "Oh, the tales of blah 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 of you and blah blah blah," and I'm like,
And how
that
he
makes
takes
sense
it from
because
her
it's like years
In bed,
later.
he literally pulls it out of her asshole.
It's not what that's funny. Gawain accedes to her advances in exchange for it and ejaculates on the girdle.
That was a lot of cum on that fucking thing, man.
It-
Like he's
wow.
a young guy.
He was really into it. So
But I was like, it's been a few years
he was
since I had
he was edging.
a frothing
He was totally edging on that one.
fucking
He was edging.
teacup
was
of
edging.
ejaculate.
The PG. The lady rebukes him and
I
says,
can say fuck, but I can't say ejaculate. Doesn't make any sense.
There you go.
That's the
Shouldn't
scientific
say
word
any
for
of it. The lady rebukes him and says
Spermatosa.
he is no knight. The old woman has witnessed this.
Kind of, because she's
Thanks, Mom.
blindfolded, right?
Well, okay. She's a seer. Gawain escapes the castle but encounters the Lord in the forest, who reminds him of their game. The Lord kisses Gawain in return for his lady's actions, but Gawain does not give him the girdle. The Lord reveals that he has captured Gawain's fox but releases it. This was weird too.
What did the fox say, though?
Gawain reaches a stream where a boat is waiting. The fox impedes his way, imploring Gawain in a human voice to abandon the quest. Gawain refuses and takes the boat to the chapel where the Green Knight is seated in hibernation.
I will say that it felt kind of... I would have cut this part out personally where Gawain yells at the fox, like, nobody invited you on here anyway. Where he, like, yells...
The fox is his mom.
But he yells so... like an angry teenager.
Talking to his mom.
But I still thought it was stupid.
It was representative. It was an allegory.
You're an allegory.
For what, Rob?
Gawain and going into her asshole.
You know what I found really interesting about the end of that scene? Was that it was over. No. No, a stream to the Green Chapel, just like the kids said.
See, now you're seeing
At
stuff
least
in it
there
you
was
never saw before.
No, I saw it then, and I thought it was still stupid because there was so many connections that could have been made in this movie that didn't, because we have a poor writer who doesn't connect the dots and just gives us stuff that he puts down on paper. And
Writers from fucking
I didn't write that.
12,000 years ago.
Yeah, but then there's a new person who brings it to this movie and doesn't connect any dots, doesn't make it a better story.
Expects his audience to be able to.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah, screw the audience. Fuck
Yeah,
those assholes.
make them think whatever.
More
they...
Fast and Furious.
Exactly, turtles. Gawain waits through the night, and the Green Knight awakens on Christmas morning. Yay, presents. To complete the challenge, the knight swings the axe. This completely skipped a part, but it says sure. To complete the challenge, the knight swings the axe, but stops short twice. As
Wait.
Gawain flinches. Before the third swing, Gawain flees and rushes back to Camelot. There is still like 45 minutes left to this movie.
Yep. And in all honesty, this part you can really quickly go through because he effectively gets back there. He fucks asshole. She gets pregnant.
That's not how that works.
And then she spits out a kid. He has that, I believe, does he take that kid back or does he just kill that kid?
No, he takes the kid back. He
And
takes
then,
the kid
yeah,
away from her because now that he finds...
And he's got to get married.
And who does he marry?
It looks like the Winifred, the girl,
Yeah.
the dead girl.
And you couldn't get these things to circle in and make sense?
In your head, it does.
It makes... You have her come because...
But
you have her come back...
But he's miserable the whole time. That's the whole key point of it. He's
the whole
miserable
thing...
the whole time.
Okay, she's in the cabin. She gets attacked by who?
The
We
fox.
don't know. No.
It was a fox.
No, we don't know. That's never said. She's just beheaded, right? In her cabin.
Every now and then you can chop a chick's head off.
What if Gawain, see, later on,
What if the Green Knight chopped her head off?
Gawain should have.
Maybe he did.
Well, that's the
And just
thing.
bring
It's
her
not
head
in
back.
the movie. Nothing.
It's like,
nothing
bitch, I
connects.
said I want a little head. Try not to laugh at that one.
No.
But yeah, so he's miserable the whole time until the end when...
Okay. He is knighted and becomes king when his uncle dies.
Yep.
Essel bears his son, but Gawain abandons her, taking the child and
what I
marrying
just said.
a nobleman instead. A noble woman. His son grows up and dies in battle. After many years, Gawain becomes a reviled king. With his castle under siege and his family abandoning him, he pulls the green girdle off and
His head falls.
from inside of his abdomen because he's been
looked
wearing
like he
it
was ripping
constantly.
Out, ripped out his guts.
His head decapitates.
Yep. He's dead.
Gawain wakes from the vision, still kneeling on the ground in the Green Chapel. Gawain removes the girdle and tells the knight he is ready. The knight praises Gawain for his bravery. He drags his fingers across Gawain's throat, and echoing the Lord, says, "Now off with your head." A post-credit scene shows a young girl fingering a crown. Who cares? The end scene, just cut it.
Girl fingering. But no, I don't think I'll watch it again. But I did enjoy the artistic license.
I
that
want
it
the
took.
Snyder cut.
Oh God! Can you imagine if they gave Jack Snyder, if they gave Hack Snyder a movie like this?
Everyone has abs.
Imagine, we'd see the fucking siege and it'd be like Superman fucking blowing up shit and castles falling.
If this is
It
a long
would
video,
suck.
I apologize because we just had to get through it, and it just like the movie. I was hoping for so long it would just circle around and like these. The thing with the kid, the thing with the cabin, the thing with the fox, the thing with the giants, the thing, all these, the Lord in the manor, all these things had ways that they could obviously circle around together.
I wish we saw, instead of a
Nothing.
crown being fingered, it was
Nothing.
Someone's
None of,
vessel.
not one thing came around and circled back and made sense.
except him going back to see the Green Knight.
Just
It's the circle of life.
Rob, have you heard of the story of this guy?
a Green Knight, he comes and chops your head off.
It's
But
just
yeah,
stupid.
I would recommend to at least watch it because you know it's going to be up
It's-
for at least best adapted screenplay,
Yeah.
best director, and best actor.
It's getting good ratings from people like Rob.
Yep. And it's one of the few movies where high praise from critics, mid praise from regular moviegoers, but it is worth watching. The movies that you don't want to watch are the ones that have super high critics and super low audience scores. Those are fucking garbage. Those are art house
It's
garbage.
the kind of movie where you hope that the awards are given to the people that deserve it, and not like, oh, it looks so great. Oh, it has such great acting. So we'll just give it
Things-
the
things happen
movie
that I
of the
don't
year.
understand.
It's stupid.
Right? That's why hopefully they got out of that fucking terrible way of thinking with Terrence Malick, who sucks. Everyone who thinks Terrence Malick is an amazing director,
The award
is an
shows
idiot.
are dumb anyway.
But people who would go, the Tree of Life, amazing. It's not. It's art house shit. Same as fucking Von Trier, Lars Von Trier. His movies are garbage. You could like that fucking the two parts of that fucking
I haven't seen those.
what the fuck is it called? Nymphomaniac. They fucking suck, man. Like, watch those fucking movies. Compare it to this. At least this has some beautiful shots and shit. Lars von Trier's movies fucking blow. He made like one or two good movies. That one, Melancholy, which is pretty good. And that one with Willem Dafoe where he chops off his dick with scissors. That was all right. But the rest of them, junk. The point is, this is a movie that you should watch because it's not complete art house garbage. It's not Richard Linklater art house garbage.
Yes.
It's
It's beautiful,
almost bad
well
art house
acted.
garbage.
It just has a shit story.
Yeah.
And I was straight up like, if I were to rank the story, it's a 1 out of 10. It was bad.
No, I give this just for how nice it looked. I thought Dev Patel did a good job of acting. Very interesting guy to watch. I give it like a 7 out of 10.
The whole thing.
Whole thing. Yeah. Especially the talking fox.
Keep in consideration that
Marvel only had a
this
raccoon.
really falls apart because of the bad story.
It's not a bad
For
story.
me,
It's an
no, it's
allegory.
bad. It's really bad. It would be really good if things connected.
Cinephile.
3 out of
Not
10.
cinephile. You're what would you call
It's a 3.
if you're trying to be one of those stuck up art house dicks, you'd be like, ugh.
No,
How can you
no,
not
no,
compare
no,
it to
no.
Herzog?
The stuck-up artistic dicks, whatever. Those are you and you liking this kind of thing, and then all these critics that
I
are like,
spent
"Ooh, hoity-toity."
The majority of the film fingering my own Essel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, everybody, go watch Gawain and the Green Knight.
BecauseMoviesPodcast.com. Please check out our new TikTok,
Yeah.
which will have a lot of honorable mentions and 3-minute previews, and who knows what else.
Who knows what I can get done in 3 minutes?
We can't go live, so
Some with an Essel. Not yours. All right, everybody. Bye. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Green Knight.
sucks.